Welcome to Caregiver Counsel, Elder Law Insights with Tieesha Taylor.
Who makes sure nursing home residents are treated with dignity and respect and fairness? In Florida, that's where the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program comes in. Welcome to Caregiver Counsel, Elder Law Insights. I'm Tieesha Taylor, founder and CEO of Elderly Care Law Firm here in South Florida. One of the most important questions families ask me is, who is really looking out for my loved ones inside a nursing home or assisted living facility? That's why I'm so excited to be joined today by Fiorella Parasi, District Ombudsman Manager for Florida's Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. Fiorella and her team of ombudsmen advocate for residents in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and adult family care homes across the state, making sure their rights are protected and their concerns are heard. Fiorella, welcome.
Thank you, Taisha. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. Fiorella, can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role as a district ombudsman manager?
Yes, sure. Well, my name is Fiorella Parasi. I have been living in Miami since I was 14 years old. I graduated from Coral Park Senior High, and then I went into Miami-Dade, and I graduated there too. And then I went into FIU, where my favorite classes were psychology and human growth and development. I became a caregiver for my immediate family.
Mhm.
And at that time, I started learning about all the programs for senior citizens that are available not only in Miami, but in the whole state of Florida. And then I started working for the state of Florida in this program, which I didn't know at the beginning what it was about.
Mhm.
And then because Ombudsman does have a translation, it says like fighter for the people, fighter for the community.
Mm.
And we're advocates. I became the district ombudsman manager for the North District, which covers all north of Flagler Street, El Doral, all of Hialeah, um, Miami Lakes, all the way to Aventura. I work alongside two exceptional ombudsmen. My team members are great ombudsmen. Their names are Maple Morel and Deborah Linares. We cover and we are responsible, let's say that, for over 10,000 residents in our district.
Mm.
And we say that we don't visit facilities, we visit residents.
Right.
And this program actually also, I'm sorry, stop, I'm going to start. This program is also depends a lot on volunteers because we are only 3 staff members. So we depend a lot of volunteers that are committed to give their time so they can become ombudsman and they will help us out visiting these residents because it's a lot of residents, a lot of facilities in our districts, and it's not enough for us to cover all of them. So we've been lucky enough that we have 8 committed volunteers in the program right now, but we need more.
Yeah.
We're always recruiting volunteers.
Okay, great. Well, I was going to talk about that a little more. If anyone knows my story, they will know that I was laid off in 2007 and I started volunteering with the long term care ombudsman because I didn't know what to do. And I said I wanted to give up service. And that's how I learned about the long term care ombudsman. But for those who don't know, can you talk about just a little more for families who may not be familiar with the long term care ombudsman program? What does it do? Why does it exist?
Okay, it started actually in, if I'm not mistaken, it was under Johnson, President Johnson, with the, what is it called, the Older American Tax. And then under Nixon, it became a 8-point program for nursing homes. And then in 1975, the first ombudsman guide started, the program by itself. So what we do is we belong to the Department of Elder Affairs.
Mhm.
Although in Florida, the state ombudsman, all the ombudsmans are employed by the DOEA, and the state ombudsman is appointed by the Secretary of Elder Affairs. Um, Even though we are situated in the DOEA, we are a program independent from the Department of Elder Affairs, meaning that all programmatic functions and oversights are responsibility of the state ombudsman.
Mhm.
Since the inception of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, our goal has remained the same, which is provide a voice for older adults and persons with disabilities who live in a long-term care settings. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for all Florida long-term care residents by advocating for and protecting their rights, safety, welfare, and rights. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
that's practically us. I mean, we are advocate. We advocate for and on behalf of residents who live in nursing homes, assisted facilities, and adult family care homes.
Great. So you are the advocates for those who are living in those facilities.
Yes.
And you mentioned bill rights. And so I know that Florida has a resident bill of rights for those who are in long-term care. What rights are most important for families or residents to know? What are some of the rights that they need to know about that are really important to some of the families in the facility?
All of the rights are important, but I will say that the two most important are the right to live in a safe and decent living environment, free from abuse and neglect,
Mhm,
and also for the residents to present their grievances and recommendations or changes to the staff, to the administration, without fear of retaliation. I
mhm.
think those are the two most important um, bills,
Yeah,
rights on the Bill of Rights. Yeah.
got it. I would agree with that. Those are very important. If a resident has a concern, maybe about care, safety, or staff behavior, how does your team step in to help? And how do they go about contacting the long-term care ombudsman?
Well, that is one of the reasons that we visit this facility to talk to the residents. During our visits, we introduce ourselves to the residents and
Mhm,
inform them of their rights as individuals living in long-term care facilities. These visits help us build a rapport and trust with the residents and allowing them to feel comfortable voicing their concerns to us.
mhm,
Once we receive a resident consent, because we don't act without a resident consent, we can begin our advocacy efforts, let's say it like that. We communicate with the director of nursing, social services, the facility administrator, maintenance to address and resolve the residents' concerns. Because in this area, because of our consistent presence, facility administrator know who we are now,
mhm, mhm.
and they often prefer to work with us over other agencies. So they're generally receptive and willing to collaborate with us to resolve the residents' complaints effectively. And sometimes all of our posters and in all facilities, nursing homes, adult family home cares, and assisted living facilities. Our posters are big posters placed in different areas of the facilities, and our phone numbers are there. They can call us at any time. The line comes directly to our office. If we get a call with a concern, then we try to get all the information over the phone. And from what we gather, then we can determine if we can help the resident via a phone call or if we need to go, if it's best for us to go and visit them at the facility.
Yeah, so you mentioned complaints. Can you touch on that a little bit more? What kind of complaints or issues do you most often hear from residents or families who are residing in those facilities?
We receive a wide range of complaints from residents and their families.
Mhm,
Common complaints include issues related to neglect, food quality, lack of engaging activities. Residents also report that call lights are not being answered in a timely manner, which can impact their safety and their well-being.
mhm,
Other frequent concerns involve unmet medical needs, such as resident requiring therapy service or needing to be seen by a specialist, dentists, optometrists, cardiologists, orthopedic doctors.
mhm.
Additionally, we often receive calls regarding discharges from facilities, which may involve questions about the process, timing, and and the appropriateness of the discharge.
Got it. Well, I guess some of those complaints are similar to what I used to hear when I was a long-term care ombudsman
Yes, they
volunteer.
haven't changed that much.
Yeah, I know our top two were food quality and discharges. So it seems like
Yes.
those are still top of the list. Many caregivers worry about retaliation if they speak up or if they file a complaint. How do ombudsmen make sure residents can raise concerns safely?
Okay, to be honest, retaliation can happen.
Mhm,
And we have open cases related to retaliation within our district. It is a serious concern, and we take proactive steps to try to prevent them. We make it a priority to inform both residents and the facility staff about the right to file grievances or complaints without fear of retaliation. This
Mhm.
is a fundamental resident right, and we emphasize it during our visits. To help prevent retaliation, we try to maintain a consistent communication with both the residents and the facility staff.
Right.
This, let's say, ongoing dialogue between us help us monitor the situation closely and address any concerns promptly.
Mhm.
We also work directly with the facility administration to ensure they understand that a complaint is not just something like a procedural issue, but it is sometimes that maybe directly impacting the residents' care and quality of life. Our
Mhm.
goal is to resolve the issue together with the administration, with the resident,
Mhm.
while safeguarding the residents' rights and well-being.
Can you share a story or example with us of a time when the ombudsman involvement made a real difference for a resident or their family?
Yes, I can. There are so many stories. One recently, because I just heard about it 2 days ago, that comes to my mind is uh, one of our ombudsmen was present during a resident council meeting
Mhm.
in which this resident voiced several concerns about the facility in the presence of the ombudsman. So less than a week later, the resident was discharged from the facility, an action that raised serious concerns about retaliation.
Mhm.
And we immediately intervened. The resident was temporarily transferred to another facility in Broward County,
Mhm.
and but his wish was to return home because this nursing home was his home.
Yeah.
And we filed a discharge hearing, an appeal hearing, and participated as witnesses in the case during
Mhm.
the hearing. And we won the hearing, and
Yeah.
the resident successfully returned to his home, to his nursing home. And one of our ombudsmen, who served as the point of contact for this case, recently visited the resident at the facility where he's living,
Mhm.
and he was thriving. I mean, he had gained weight, he looked healthy, and he just had celebrated his birthday at the facility, surrounded by both other residents and staff who joined in the celebration.
Great.
I think that this case is a powerful reminder of the importance of our work and the difference we can make when we advocate with compassion and persistence.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you for that story. Now we're going to wrap up. So I just wanted to ask for any caregivers listening today, what's one step they can take right now to make sure their loved one is protected in a nursing home or assisted living facility?
You need to get involved. You need the facility needs to feel the presence of the relative, of the family member, of the caregiver. Regular visits, active participation in your loved one care can make a significant difference. Attending care planning meetings and staying informed. This way you'll know when the medication is changed or when a new medication is introduced. Visit at different times of the day to observe the care the relative is receiving during various shifts. Speak with your family member to understand how they feel about their treatment.
Yeah.
Most of them they can voice their concerns. If your loved one is unable to communicate, then observe the surroundings. Are they being groomed regularly? Are they being fed properly?
Mhm.
Stay informed about the rights of the residents in long-term care facilities. More importantly, if you ever have concerns or complaints, please don't hesitate to call us. The Ombudsman Program is here to listen and to advocate on behalf of all residents. We are committed to doing our best to ensure every resident receives the care and the respect that they deserve.
Thank you, Fiorella. Thank you for joining me and for the important work you and your team do every day to safeguard the rights of Florida's seniors and the residents of these facilities. I highly recommend our listeners to volunteer with the Long Term Care Ombudsman Program. I was a volunteer. I learned so much about the program and also our residents, and I was able to give back. And not only that, but the residents gave back to me, and I felt so fulfilled doing it. So, Fiorella, if our listeners want to learn more about the Long Term Care Ombudsman Program or even want to volunteer, how can they reach you?
They can call us at the number on the posters on the nursing homes and facilities, and I can give you a number. Let me see, it's 1-888-831-0404. One simple phone call is the first point of contact, and it's a simple process. It's a application, a small 20 minutes interview, a background check, and then theory and practice.
Great.
Theory and practice.
Love that. Theory and practice. Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I really hope our listeners will participate and volunteer. And if your family is facing questions about elder care, Medicaid, or guardianship, you don't have to do it alone. Call us at 305-836-4697 or visit elderlycarelawfirm.com to learn how we can help. And if this episode was valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know who may be caring for a loved one. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.